What is up, everybody? Happy ManCave Monday. We are here today. Mr. Ivan Large, you might know him from Instagram, other places. And he's got himself a spot over here, over in the garage. Born and raised in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We're going to, obviously people know I've had you on this show before. But today we're doing a tour. We're getting a tour.
The tour, fella.
How you doing, man?
Doing all right. Kind of missing football. This is kind of like the worst time of year ever. Because you're waiting for everything.
Yeah, so. I'm not a fan of this time of the year. We got the draft coming up, and there'll be some fun stuff, especially with obviously being in Green Bay. Me and you, we're gonna be doing some stuff.
Yeah, we will.
We got to go. We got to get down there and start doing get some content rolling. You know what I mean? But
I'm down.
So yeah, so let me ask you, before we get the tour, like, what are you thinking about the draft being in Green Bay? What do you plan on doing, and what do you like? What are your thoughts? Like, how crazy is it going to be?
It's gonna be crazy. My really only desire is day one. I want to be there for the first pick of the draft, or whether they trade it allegedly, right? And that they're talking about. Whatever they do, I just want to experience it. Being from Green Bay, I don't know if I want to do all 4 days or all 3 days, right? I don't know if I'm down for all of that. But that Thursday, yeah, I was going to call you anyways and say, what are you doing that Thursday? We got to figure out a plan. But, yeah, I plan to be there at Thursday night, for the pick and go through the experience and check it out. But it's kind of chaotic even to get tickets right now. People are, like, confused what's happening. So more to come on that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know how the ticket thing goes. Like, for me, I'm going to see, like how you do get tickets and how it all works. Yeah. But I don't even care, like, if I'm in a seat. I just want to be there, like, for the whole experience. Hopefully I can get a seat, but I think it's going to be tough. We'll see what happens. And I don't even know, like, how it's going to work. Dude, my cat is, like, all up on me right now. But we can bribe some people with a case of hams or something. So we'll figure out what we can do. So. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see, like, how they do it. Like, we kind of know, like, where they're going to be doing it from. Like, Oneida Street is going to be the stage. I think it's kind of I was wondering how they were going to do that because, there's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah, it's only like a 2-mile walk from my house. They said I could gimp it out in 40 minutes or so. So I think I can do it. I'll put the cane to hard work. So
I think I'm going to stay with my son over here. But I think my cat. Anyways, my cat's messing up the camera thing because whenever it moves, the camera moves because I got a moving camera thing.
Yeah, you got some high skill technology happening over there. I'm just on my phone.
It's not really. It's just it's my old phone that I use for a camera now because it's got better quality. But I just got this thing on my laptop and now it like moves when I move. I don't know why it does it, and I don't actually like it all the time. It'll be good for game streams. But anyway, so appreciate everyone who's tuning in. We're gonna get the old tour over here of Mr. Ivan's spot.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start? Where do you want everyone to see? First of all, before we get into that, I do want to say I had Luke Sampe on my podcast, meteorologist here in Green Bay. Everyone, be sure to go check out that podcast if you haven't listened to it yet. It's pretty good. He's obviously a Green Bay meteorologist, big Packer fan. Talked about some weather, but also some Packers and stuff. And I thought it was a great one. It didn't get as many listens as some of the other ones, but I think people should listen to it.
Go check it out. I saw it. I thought it was good.
There you go. I think it was pretty good. But let's get to some comments rolling here. Ivan, do you see the damn cat? It's here.
Is there a cat there?
Yeah, that's a cat.
That's a cat. What's the cat's name?
Lucy.
Lucy.
Whenever people ask me the cat's name, like because it jumps in my streams, I always forget the cat's name, and I feel like I'm a horrible pet owner. But because we have a cat named Charlie and Lucy, so it makes sense. My wife says I'm an idiot. I never remember that when it's Charlie and Lucy, Charlie Brown.
You have 2 cats.
Yeah. Well, my wife has 2 cats.
Okay, I got you there.
they live here. I like Jimmy's new glasses. You're looking great, Jimmy. This is not Jimmy.
Wow,
we are going to get Jimmy back. We are going to get Jimmy back.
Jimmy got this beard going on? Yeah, look at that.
He doesn't have that Chris Kringle action going on,
Yeah, I got that rolling.
All right, so let's check out this cave. I've seen most of the stuff. You did upgrade. You got some newer stuff, but like right behind you, right there, is that Mr. Bart Starr?
That is Mr. Bart Starr. So let's start over here and tell me if you can see it good, Matt. You got her?
Yep, I got you.
Fold in screen. Yeah, that is Bart Starr. And the neat thing about him is if you see the autograph picture, this was many years ago when I was just a youngster at Perkins. I had purchased lunch for him and his wife Cherry when they were in the restaurant, and didn't ask for anything in return. It was a busy Friday lunch, and suddenly a server comes up and said somebody wants to talk to you, and there he was standing in the pantry asking for my address because he wanted to send me something for being so nice. How
That's
cool is
awesome.
that, right?
So,
The dude is a
which one?
class act.
He is.
So
Which one did he send you?
this one right here, see it?
All right, yeah, go lower a little bit. There you go. Yeah, that's awesome. So he
Yep.
went out of his way to find you,
Yep.
send you an autograph. I've heard that he's done that for a lot of people over the years. People who
Yep.
he's met. I think someone was telling me they met him on an airplane, and they talked to him for during the flight, and then he asked their address. The same thing, he sent them something. So shout out to Bart Starr.
Yeah. And then I got this over at Carton Coin here in Green Bay.
All right, shout
Mike
out.
Warchek, the owner. You see this Miller Lite one. This is kind of sweet because it's got my favorite down there, Lynn Dickey, right? You see Lynn there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's Chester Markle. Paul Horning signed this thing. Bob Skronsky signed it. Ron Kramer signed it up here. And there's the Magic Man, Don. Leroy Butler with the first Lambeau Leap. So that was pretty awesome as well, too. So
Is that
love
new?
this piece. What's that?
Is that new for you?
Yeah, I got it. It's an old mirror, but I just purchased this a while back. Midsummer, I got that.
That's a very unique thing. Can you back up a little bit, let people see the whole thing?
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, they kind of scroll down a little bit. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a nice piece right there.
Yeah, it sure is.
That's unique. You don't see. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that with all those guys
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah,
Autographs.
it's pretty cool. It's the
That's
50th
beautiful.
anniversary there, too, if you see that.
All right, yeah,
2007, so that's when this is from.
that's awesome.
2007, I was just a young man of like 40, so good for me.
You were like my age.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Then
a
I-
little older than that.
Then I cut a couple neat pieces up over here. Can you see Sterling there?
Yep, I got him.
And then there's Sterling with the helmet. See the helmet light I bought underneath there, too? That's great.
Oh, that's nice.
A nice picture up here I got from Tom Burns. He's the Green Bay house,
Yeah.
and he got me that. I was at this game, so pretty awesome that he got me this. Look at the beers that are sitting there, old style. Look at all the pull tab cans.
Yeah,
This is
that's
from, yeah,
awesome.
From 1985. That was the times. So
I know. That was
Yeah.
6.
that's a little part of the corner. Here, I'll come back here for you.
Yeah,
There you
back
go.
up a little bit. There you go. Look at that.
And here I am.
So, who are those footballs right there?
Oh, yeah, we'll do those. So one is Dave Robinson. You see that?
Yeah,
James Lofton.
that's a nice one right there.
Yeah, and this is from Evan Dietrich Smith. And look at him. I had him signed to Nicole. Your husband is a good guy.
That's awesome.
That's how I get it done. And I have a collection of mini helmets. There's Jordan. You see Jordan? Okay.
Yep, perfect.
All
Yeah,
right.
the
And then you
white
got to
helmet.
see Romeo Dobbs, Rashawn Gary. There's a autographed bottle of Leap Vodka by Leroy Butler. You see my Lindicki autographed helmet. James Lofton is on the other side of that. I
That's
have a new
nice-
edition of Tucker Craft here, right here. So I got that from Mike's Memorabilia. If you go across, I have a few more up here. I know I have Vanessa's up here. Rashawn Gary, I already said. John Brockington is up here. Yeah, and then up top there, Matt, we talked about this. You were at this bowling event.
Yep.
Nate Wayne and Alan Rossum signed that for me. I was a part of that.
That's
then you
wild
gotta-
that you were there and I was there.
Yeah.
Like all those years ago.
Yep.
We were in the same. I wonder if there's ever another
Yep.
time we were in the same building. We just didn't know it back in the day.
Yep. And there's good old Tim Harris. There's an autograph. The double guns.
I think that he's like one of the most known names of like people our age.
Yep.
Really. Because back in the day for me, the officer, the cops would come around and give kids Packer cards. It
Yep.
seemed like they were always Tim Harris cards.
Yep.
Never ran out of Tim Harris cards. So he was one player that always stuck with me.
Then I have some neat stuff in here. Some throwback stuff here. Some more autographs. There's Sandana Dotson. He signed it Your husband is pretty awesome to Nicole Gopak, Santana Dotson.
That's
Same
funny.
thing with Patrick O'Donnell. It's kind of covered up, but that's in there. There's some pictures of me, Donald Driver, and Nate Wayne. If you can see that, and down there is Amon Green.
All right.
And look, my wife was inspired by your Funky Pop, so she got me one.
Oh,
There it
that's
is.
awesome.
I didn't get the Packer hat, though. I guess you can't get a Packer hat for it. I don't know how that works.
I don't know. Let me see it. Mine's right here. No, mine. Yeah, mine's not a Packer hat. You can get like
Yeah.
a sticker. And mine had glasses, but it fell.
Yeah.
So now it doesn't have glasses. But
Well, it was supposed to have my cane in the one hand, but they ran out of canes, so I told her to get me a football. So I guess she ordered it. And then this is one of my favorite dollar bills ever. Can you see that, Matt?
yeah, the Bears still suck, or Bears suck forever.
Forever.
Who's that?
That's from a Bear fan named Melvin Bridges. He's a good friend of mine, but he had to eat it and create that dollar bill for me and I can hold it against him forever and ever.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and there's a picture here. This is from the Return to Titletown from Super Bowl 31. That was great. We were there. That's an autographed
awesome.
Christian Watson from. I got that from Wyatt. Wyatt G. He gave me that. Then I have a couple neat things down here. Boyd Dollar there. There's another Lynn Dickey autograph. And here's a neat little thing that people don't realize, and you tell me if you can see it. But there's a young Eric Larson. Well, I dropped my name. That's all right.
Ooh, name drop.
Yep. Right there in his basement of my old house. This is when man caves are really never even heard of or looked at. But there I was. The Press Gazette did a story on me on my basement. So
What
And
year
then-
is that?
that is from 1998.
There you go.
Yeah. And then this was from the Carolina game. And there's me holding my oldest son underneath the goalpost from Super Bowl 31 that used to be over at Damon's. Remember Damon's place?
I think I do.
Yeah, I was behind there, but yeah, there's some stuff there. Hopefully
Some good stuff.
people find that interesting.
Phil wants he wants you to hook him up with that Lofton.
Oh, the loft.
Lofton.
Oh,
Big
that
dog.
Lofton. Oh,
Yeah,
I got
Lofton.
that. You know who I got that from is a lot of stuff, and I got to give a shout out to Brandon by Slab by B.
Yeah.
I have my two tables, and I haven't shown those off yet, but Brandon really helped me get back to where I was. You know, Matt knows my story a little bit, but I used to have a huge collection, as you can see from the newspaper. And then, as everything in life, sometimes we went through some trials and tribulations, and in order to provide for my family, I had to make some decisions with a lot of the collectibles I had back then. And now I'm kind of back into it, and I kept some of my good stuff, right? I always keep it, you know, the Bart Star, and I have another Bart Star poster over there from 1970. It's an original. I didn't show you that yet, but things like this here too of Brett Favre that was autographed to me directly. Can you see that one all right, Matt?
All right. Yep. There's a to Eric. Best wishes.
Then there's some autographed cards from Paul Kaufman, Lynn Dickey, Tim Harris again, James Jones, Don Makowski. Right up there, good old Fuzzy Thurston. You can see him there.
Yep.
There's a Don Makowski helmet. I just got that this year, though. So it's not like something I've been holding on forever. But I saw him over at the distillery. He was doing autographs. And there's James Jones. Pretty awesome. And I got this from a buddy who sent it to me. Call out to Anthony. So he sent me this picture of Rogers. Yeah,
That's
so.
awesome.
And then up here, if I'm going over here, then can you see the top helmets there? Aaron Jones?
Yep. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, right there. I love that he wrote it. Dallas still sucks.
That's awesome.
Christian Watson is right there. This helmet's from years ago, so I do have Don Makowski's on this helmet. Jerry Kramer's on this helmet. Daniel Martin, the tight end. I don't know if people remember him.
Yep.
Bart Starr is on here. Sterling Sharp is on here in the back.
How long have you had that?
Oh, I've had that forever. It's something I've been holding on forever.
one of the
So that
originals.
was, that's not something I would let go of. Same thing with this helmet. Bubba Franks is on there. William Henderson, Donald Driver is on this helmet and on both other sides. I could get my ladder and get them up there, but got that going on. And then there's Paul Kaufman. one of the greatest tight ends that never gets the recognition that he should in Green Bay for his play back in the day. But it's cool. He put all the information on there. That's another one I got by,
Yeah.
from Brandon, as well as Josh Jacobs there, full size helmet.
Oh, all
That's
right.
pretty cool.
That is.
Yep. And then Aaron Rodgers toy up there. Oh, of course, Light Can. It's glittering with gloriousness. And then I just have some stuff over here too. Some good old, this was a throwback I have. 66 souvenir program. Some other things here too. That's just on the top. So, am I doing all right? How am I doing?
Yeah, you're doing great. So,
Good. No
which is
questions
like
up?
which piece is like one of your first pieces that you remember getting?
Bart Star.
Yeah.
That 8x10, yeah. Bart Star was there. As well as I had, I got to move myself correctly here. There we go. I had a Curly Lambeau from the old Packer Packer Hall of Fame when it was over by the Resch Center. And I had actually a door piece of Curly Lambeau at Rockwood. That thing weighed like 500 pounds. I got it in an Oneida auction back in the day. And I ended up having to sell that. But that thing was awesome. It took up an entire wall. I got it right from the Hall of Fame there. So, yeah, it was great. Donald Driver stuff back in the day, he was great. Lynn Dickey as a kid was incredible to me, but all those autographs, it's hard to find. I have a box of stuff. If I ever dug it out, I should really dig in there. I got autograph stuff, but it's not, how do you say, presentable. I have a napkin from Reggie White and his family. He signed it on a napkin, but I can't figure out a way to present that, so I'm not going to.
I know someone who has a napkin, I believe, signed by like Curly Lambeau or somebody like way back when, right? And they framed it. They just put it like in the middle of a picture frame. I forget exactly who it was from. It was someone from the old. I think it was Curly Lambeau. It might even have been like a note he left somebody, and it somehow got saved and ended up in the collectors. But it's crazy the stuff that people have. So what is something that you have that you think people would be surprised? I think I already saw a couple of things, but something that you never see anyone else have. You got anything like that people are always jacked to see?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me just throw you up. Here we go, people. I gotta skirt down things a little bit, but here. Nobody has this. Let me move my chains. Can you see the shirt okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So right here from Donald Driver, it says, "You suck, Donald Driver." Over here from Dorsey Levens, it says, "To Eric, you bastard, Dorsey Levens." To the worst bowler ever, that's from Hank Burris. Remember him? Backup quarterback? Yeah. Nate Wayne, he called me the Applehead. I think that was his way of insulting me. But my favorite here is from Alan Rossum, if you can see this. It says, "To short and fatty, your ball could bowl better by itself." That was great.
So where was this?
This was at the same event you and I were at.
Oh, okay.
And and I had him autograph it because I said nobody else would have something where people are mean to you in an autograph, because usually sign it, "Hey, to my best friend," or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just thought it'd be unique to have him sign mean things to me. I thought that would be a good deal.
Get roasted on that thing, you know?
Well, yeah, it's all right though. It's fun. I love it. Some people are like, "Why would you do that?" They're a little confused by it, but I don't care, and I sleep at night, so I'm good with it. I love it. Nobody else has something like that, so.
Dude, if I was ever to get Aaron Rodgers' autograph, I'd want him to write, "You're a trash umpire."
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah, so I think it'd be hilarious to have players kind of.
Absolutely.
Dude, I remember when Haha came to did the podcast here. He autographed. I was having him autograph a bunch of stuff, and some of it was for friends, people I know loved him a lot. There's a girl I used to work with, and I had him sign a "Bear Still Sucks" sticker, and I gave it to her. And it wasn't like a month later he was signing with the Bears.
That's
so
awesome.
I told her like, "Hey, don't post no pictures of that, because people will use it to troll him, and I didn't want him to be a problem, because he was nice enough to autograph all that stuff." I was like, after. But she still has it. But I think it's cool to have like those types of things.
Well, I got some more to show you, but it wouldn't be complete without my refrigerator.
Yeah,
I
let's
think I
see.
have one of the greatest refrigerators ever. So if you look at this is my famous fridge, and it's got everything in there. You see the Drew Cave, the Green Bay house is on there, hams, the Bears Still Suck. Looks like I have a Bears Still Suck here, right here from
Yeah, got a few of
somebody
my
there.
stickers up there.
Day drinking, right? There it is. Carry the G is on there. The Fib Patrol's on there. Buzzed Up. There's Buzzed Up.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I have so much. Oh, down here I have Victory Monday. That was for my first Victory Monday video I ever did. There's a big All You Need Is Love sticker. I think I purchased that from somebody I know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so
Yeah, I
I
think
have
you
a
have
ton.
all my stickers.
I have all your stickers. I think I have all your apparel too. I I don't
Dude,
know.
you've been
I
getting
got to
after
work
it.
on that. And then if we come over here, it's a little bit by my garbage cans, but I have some, cool stuff in here. This is where all my autograph stuff is stashed in that Budweiser box. That Budweiser's hidden. I don't drink that anymore, but not because of political reasons or anything else, because of headaches.
Yeah.
And then, then I have all these things here, just little decorative things. And you can see my Go Pack Go. There's
That's
a
nice.
Reggie White from Super Bowl 31. And there's a collector card that I have with him. And then over here we have Leroy Butler.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
That's a
nice.
great picture.
Yeah, it's a wonderful picture. That I got from Brandon as well. And then over here I have all my heavy metal stuff. For those who don't know, I'm kind of a big metalhead.
Yeah, you're
So
a
I'm
big
really into
concert guy.
music. Big concert guy. And they're starting tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll be down at the Five Serve in Milwaukee. Seeing 3 Days Grace and Disturbed. Can't
That's
wait.
awesome.
And then
I don't think anyone goes to more concerts than you do.
we said we were going to take it easy this year, Matt, and isn't working out that way. We're already at I already got 23, I think, on the books for the year so far.
That's awesome.
So as stuff comes out, we hit it. Yeah.
I like that
So, yeah.
Adderley right there too, right behind you.
Oh yeah, Herb Adderley. Yep, it's cool how he autographed it too. If you look at it,
Yeah.
see how he did that?
There.
He signed his first name on the 2 and then the last name there, and Hall of Fame,
awesome.
1980. You can see that. I want to make sure you can see it.
So where do you get that? Like, do obviously you buy some stuff, people give you some stuff you just have signed. What about this one?
This one I won in another raffle with Brandon. So if you ever do raffles with Slab by B or Brandon, I probably put more money in than I should. But I always try to convince my wife. I'm like, hey, it's a lot cheaper if I win it with a $150 investment than not. And I've been somewhat lucky and somewhat good in helping to build this out. But yeah, it's great. Brandon puts a lot of stuff out there. So if anybody's looking to collect, you can put in $20 into a raffle and end up with a helmet. So it could be worth it.
I never win at those things, but we do have a question over here for you. And anyone, pop in, ask any questions you want. Doesn't have to be just about the cave. Whatever you want to talk about. But here we go. Eric, will the Packers make any offseason moves? Debo would have fit in well. The Packers didn't have a fourth-round pick. So what do you think? Do you think the Packers make any moves?
I think they're going to take care of business, and that's Frank Bartoloni. He's a good friend of mine. So he's coming in. Andy's a Bear fan, but I'm not going to pick on him for that. I think, the offseason move that everybody's waiting on is Devontae. And I think it was a 50-50 shot yet still. And I'm hearing about, DK Metcalf, but it sounds like there's no validity to that story whatsoever, that nobody's talked to anybody yet. And I don't know how important it is to get a super high-end wide receiver versus a very good, steady wide receiver. And, I think they make a move, but if they're going to, it's going to either be an edge rusher or a wide receiver.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. And the thing with DK, I seen that story, and I've seen other stories that say it wasn't true. So I don't know if it is true, because I ain't trying to, say, oh, that guy's lying or whatever. Media guys, they get information.
Yeah.
But I seen both. But then I saw that they wanted the first round pick. They wanted Romeo Dobbs or Wicks and a
Yep.
middle round pick. That seemed like, if that's real, that seems a lot, because then they're going to pay him. He's like in the last year of his contract, so he's gonna want some money. I don't see the Packers dishing out draft picks and then having to throw money at a guy. So
No.
I think Devontae Adams is more likely, if they're going to go for someone like that.
Yeah, and I think they do, and they can manage that a little bit differently. But with DK Metcalf, you're really not sure what you're getting because you're not sure if he's a head case or not, depending on what's going on there, right? Depending on who you listen to. I just think it's uncertainty with him to be a solid wide receiver coming in who's going to help support and develop the receivers with him.
Yeah, and I think Devontae, he's going to be released. No one, unless someone trades for him, and that's the kind of thing they're saying. But no one's going to trade for him. It's like a $36 million cap hit or something crazy.
Yep.
So no one's going to want that. And if they can get him without having to give up picks, and it's a reasonable contract, he knows
Yep.
the offense. He knows Jordan Love. Obviously, like some people are like, well, he didn't want to be here then. We don't want him now. Yeah, we do. I mean,
Yeah, we want him here. And again, he didn't leave. I mean, there are some pieces to this all, but I think both sides at that time knew it was a business. And I don't have any hard feelings with Devontae.
Yeah.
He never trashed the Packers on the way out. He
Yeah,
never
he
said
never did.
anything bad. He kept his cool. He kept his level headed. He was a professional, and so I don't have any problem with Devontae coming back.
Yeah, I think he'd be good. I think he'd help the young wide receivers.
Yeah.
He's still got it. I don't care what anyone says. Like, and people are talking about like, oh, he's not going to be what he was. Well, yeah, he's not going to be what he was, but he's still going to be pretty good. He's
a route runner, and he's going to be a safety valve and a route runner for Love. So why wouldn't we want that? And I don't care what anybody says. He's going to be super solid as that. He may not be the long ball, and that's where Wicks or Dobbs or whoever needs to come in and play that. But at the end of the day, he's going to help Love develop, and he's going to help those receivers develop. And by the way, when he first started, remember this crazy cat stuff? When everybody goes, keep Jeff Janis and cut Devontae Adams because he was dropping so many balls. Remember that? And he did drop a lot of balls. But guess what? He went through it, and we saw a lot of that last year. Love never gets that recognition of how many drops there were because there was a lot of drops. I'm not picking on everybody, but we had a ton of drops. And with that being said, right, Devontae Adams would be perfect to come in and help people too with that same thing because he went through it as well. It wasn't all roses for him when he first started. He had to work his way through it. So that's why he's a class guy.
Yeah, I think like people talk last year about Love and the receiver. The passing game just wasn't what it would need to be.
Yeah.
With the pass, the dropped balls, and Jordan Love isn't perfect. But like I seen a story that came out today. I didn't read the whole thing, but I see a lot of people talking about it on Twitter. Is that like all the other teams, all the coaches and GMs, whoever they were talking around the league, they all have like a lot of high praise for Jordan Love. They think what Jordan Love's going to be this thing. I think a lot of the fans, not just Packer fans, but other fans, kind of dog Jordan Love. But I feel like the people who are smart and actually study the film and like watch and know what they're talking about, they know what Jordan Love is. That's not me, by the way. I don't watch film, and I'm not like a know-it-all, but I do have faith in him.
I don't watch film, but I drink beer and watch highlights, so that makes me an expert.
You know what I mean? That's what some people talk about. I watch film. Like, no, you drink beer in your basement watching highlights.
Oh, look at that!
I do that too. That's not film.
Yeah, give me another Hams. I gotta check that out again. Rewind it. So,
yeah, but shout out to Frank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Frank, he's all right. He's a good guy. He's been here, by the way. He got to observe it, so
yeah, he's
good for Frank.
So
no other questions? We're kind of quiet.
Yeah, it's kind of quiet Monday night. You know what I mean? People
I'm kind of hurt. Not a big draw like Drew or Lambeau Leo, but I got it going on. It's kind of a dive. That's what I'm hoping people see. Like it's
no,
great fun.
I think your spot is like original. Like it has a good vibe, and it has like you got your vehicles parked in there. It's a spot you can hang out, spot you can watch a game. Also, get hammered. You can, it's got that good vibe. And like if you spill a beer, I feel like you'll be all right. You're in a garage.
Yep, no, it's all right if you spill a beer here. Yep,
don't spill a beer though.
Absolutely. Yeah. We ate chicken in here once. Remember that?
Oh yeah, we did. We ate some Quick Trip chicken up in there. So let's show off these tables. Let's check out.
Let's do Brandon's table. So I want to start with the first one. So I can probably announce this is the first table that Brandon ever did.
Oh, really?
Yep. So this, not he ever did, but the first one he ever sold was to me.
Right.
So I was very first customer. And this is all the players that I grew up with that I loved. So I had him, do look at Ezra Johnson's in there, James Lofton, obviously Lynn Dickey. There's a ton of people. Perry Kemp is in there, Mad Dog Douglas, John Jefferson, obviously more Lynn Dickey, Mark Lee, Larry McCarron. Look at Larry McCarron. Holy buckets, huh?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Sterling Sharp. The original Mark Murphy, the bald one, if you remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
Well, I remember like stories. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
remember all these guys actually watching them play, but
Paul Coffin, but this table gets used immensely. I love this table. And again, anybody can create any kind of table they want like this. They, even Frank, if he's a Bear fan, right? If he wants a Bear fan table like this, he can make that. Brandon will make that for you, and it's sweet. And then,
B.
yeah, Slab by B, and that's right here. Here's his logo right there. He's also on my refrigerator.
Also, I want to say, like, if you spill on this table, it's good. Everything is sealed. It's not going to get through. I got one. You got two.
Yep. And he even put the beer guys on there. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
That's my 911. I drink a lot of beers. And then over here, we have my new one, which is my Super Bowl 31 one. Look at this. Whoa.
That's beautiful.
And you can't tell the lifting and the 3D dimensional that's happening in this thing, but it is incredible. I absolutely love this table. When your wife comes out and says, wow, that table's really cool, and, she's not into bar tables, but she's a Packer fan, but holy buckets, right? You know it's that good. But Reggie White's in there. I actually have an autographed card from Andre Rison in there. Mike Holmgren's in there. Some of these cards are phenomenal in the product that they are, and there's not a whole lot of them. So this is an incredible table. I'm so proud of this piece and so glad that Brandon made it for me. And he does such a great job. And it fits nicely between my two chairs here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, and he can do like coffee tables, all types of different type of tables, he was telling me.
Yep.
Check out Slab by B on Instagram. And if you can't find him on Instagram and you want to hit him up, hit me up, hit up Eric, and we'll point you in the right direction. He does great work. Your man cave is not complete if you ain't got a Slab by B table. You know what I mean?
That's correct. And you got to have it going on. I'm kind of tempted about my countertop here and having him do that. I don't know how I would do it yet, but I'm kind of tempted. So
that would be something.
Yeah, it would be.
We got some questions now for you, Eric. People want to know.
Finally.
People want to hear from you.
All right, beautiful.
All right. What's your favorite game you ever attended?
Outside of the Carolina game, obviously the return to Super Bowl, Super Bowl 31. That was an incredible game to be a part of. That entire playoff series was incredible. The Mud Bowl, the Carolina game. But if I'm being honest, it was the instant replay game against the Bears.
Yeah.
Because we were getting our butts kicked by the Bears forever back then. And when they came back and they beat the Bears, and that happened like almost immediately. Like, I think, swear to God, we got outside the stadium and people were selling the Bears still suck. Shortly after further review, the Bears still suck. Right?
Yeah, that's how it started, right?
Yeah, that's where it started from. And it was a turning point, too, because that changed the trajectory of everything. Don Majkowski and Sterling Sharp don't get nearly enough credit for doing what they did. And if you actually watch the play, if you ever go back and say, hey, I want to see the instant replay ending, and you watch that thing, if you see what Don Majkowski did and how Sterling Sharp got out, he threw that thing in between four defenders, and Sterling Sharp was just standing there. It was incredible. And we waited forever. I think the period of waiting was like 11 minutes back then because the instant replay just started, and we're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I was a little in the bag. So, or maybe a little bit more than that, but we were waiting and things went chaotic right after that. So after that, I blinded out and I think I woke up in prison, but it was a great game. I didn't wake up in prison.
You woke up in prison, you're like, Bears suck.
Yeah. Prisoners like, yeah, they do. But that instant replay game was an incredible game. It was a blast. And there was another Bear game actually with Favre where I forget what year it was, but we amassed like 550 yards of offense in that game. and Bears couldn't do anything to stop anything. And it wasn't even like that Monday night game with Rodgers when we were up like 40-0 because the yards weren't amassed. Green Bay was just scoring touchdowns, but the amount of offense we put in that game was just a nonstop barrage of just beating the Bears into the ground. And I love that too.
Yeah, you went to a lot of games, huh? I think we talked about this before, but how many games do you figure you went to?
470 something.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just you used to go to like every single game?
Yep, I was there, and especially like when it was bad. It was it was interesting. But
So they got good, and you stopped going. You're like, let me chill out.
Yeah, well, when they started getting really good, I realized it took a long time to go to the bathroom, and I'm too old to wait 30 minutes to go to the bathroom now.
Yeah.
I'll pee my pants. I'm like,
oh yeah, that's why when I go to a game now, that's why I always go like standing room because when I gotta go, I gotta go. I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely. But so proud to be a part of a ton of games. I grew up across the street of Lambeau Field, right, and all the history and glory. But here's what people don't realize is we used to just go on the practice field and play as kids. You could just climb it. You tried to climb it now, you'd be tased all within 2 seconds. We used to just jump that fence. They had a little practice field, artificial turf piece with a field goal thing on it. And we could just run out there. Nobody would do anything, right? Just out there and play in the off season. And then, as they started getting better, suddenly you couldn't do that anymore. And then, there was none of that. Next thing you know, it's like Fort Knox now. You can't get into anything now. So.
I think at a certain point it got serious. It was like a business, a lot of money, and things kind of just changed because I heard a lot of stories about Lambeau Field back in the day.
Oh, you could crawl right underneath the fence, fella, and just go in. Yeah. There was so many spaces everywhere, right over by the Bellin or by the front of it where they used to have the old office buildings. You could just on the right side, you could just go right in there. We used to go there for high school games because they used to play the high school games there on Friday night, or like Southwest and West and all those teams back in the day too.
Oh, really? So high school team used to play at Lambeau?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it did back in the day. Yeah, you can't play on it now. You can't even walk on it, even if you do a tour. They're like, don't touch the grass.
When I was even there for that Quick Trip video with Rashawn Gary and Ryan Rubel and all those guys, even then they were like, don't touch the freaking fields. Even Rashawn Gary.
It makes you really tempted, like Chris Farley, you want to kind of try and figure out how you can get this done. Like, are you sure?
Yeah,
sure I can't touch the grass?
What if I got to go on the grass one time for that primetime game. That's why I thought that was so awesome because, they actually let me on the field. You know what I mean? So they had strict rules.
Yeah, and I would say, the biggest thing in my life, though, is being a Packer fan is great, and being a Packer fan surrounded by your own stuff, and things that matter to you, and, and my kids aren't even as big of fans as I am, and that's okay. But they come and watch the games, and they try to, they're trying to get into it and everything else, and it's a family tradition. But for me, amongst my family, my brothers, none of them were big Packer fans. None of them did anything, right? It was me who was the actual Packer fan. So
yeah, you would think, growing up right there in the shadow of. Lambeau.
In the shadow of Lambeau Field on Shadow Lane. So
crazy is that why Shadow Lane is called Shadow Lane?
I don't know if that's true or not, but I saw a picture in the museum. Yeah, I don't know. I can make it up, though. I can just say it's true.
I was wondering that because you always hear people say that, shadows of Lambeau Field. I was like, in Shadow Lane right there, I don't know when they started naming the streets over there. That might have been because before Lambeau, there wasn't a lot going on over there.
Oh, no, it was like a farmland. But if you go to the Neville Public Museum, there's a picture there and I took a picture of it from 1966. And the stadium was there, and that's the year I was born. I guess I don't want everybody to know that, but it puts my age out there. But they shows the houses on Shadow, right? And there wasn't that many houses even on Shadow, and that parking lot was just straight up balanced, and Lambeau Field was not even up on a hill yet. It was interesting. So, because the outside wasn't wrapped with the green back then. It was just a regular stadium, when you go to
a high school kind of.
A high school stadium, and people don't know that is before that they played at City Stadium, which was next to East High School. So if you're coming to Green Bay for the draft and all that other stuff, you should do the tour. Go on the east side of the city and see where they used to play. At City Stadium, there's some stuff there. There's some stuff downtown about the Packers. It's Hagermeister Park. That's on the river, and it kind of represents what happened where the Packers originally played their first games. was at Hagermeister. So,
yeah, I think one day me and you should go down there, make a long video, give the tour, go around to some of those places. I went to East High School. I failed gym class on the same field the Packers played on. I shouldn't be proud of that, but I am.
But that was like Don Hudson, Arnie Herber back in the day, Johnny Blood McNally. All these guys played on that field.
Yeah, it's crazy. Cause I remember gym teachers talking about it. Yeah, we'd be screwing around or whatever. But you guys can't even run a lap. This is where the Green Bay Packers play. This is like, right here. This happened.
That's crazy.
We weren't like that impressed. I mean, we were, but like not. Yeah, I didn't appreciate it like I should have.
Yeah, as teenagers, you don't know anything.
Teenagers, right?
You're stupid, and you do things like swallow goldfish and things that are dumb. So,
all right. So let's. We kind of talked about this before, but we got some comments rolling in. Who would you rather trade for, DK Metcalf or T Higgins? I think that's a good question. I think T Higgins did they just tag him? Was he the one that got?
Yeah,
tagged?
I think they just tagged him, but it would be T Higgins that were me. And again, I'm not trying to take totally away from TK Metcalf, but it just seems like when Seattle had struggles, he kind of lost it in games and became non-apparent, right? Look at the Seattle game we played him against. How big of a killer was DK Metcalf in that game? I don't remember it. I think he had a touchdown, but T Higgins is a consummate pro, and he's been playing with a good quarterback too with Joe Burrow. I would love to see him over DK Metcalf any day.
Yeah, I think Higgins would be expensive trade-wise, and they just tagged him. He'd probably want a new deal because he ain't gonna want to play. I think it's the second year being tagged.
Yep.
And but he's a phenomenal player, like T Higgins. If
I
had to choose,
T Higgins is a year younger than DK Metcalf or two. I can't remember what year he came out.
I think he's younger. I don't know how much.
Yeah. Somebody Google that and put it in the comments.
Yeah, I know, right? We need one of those. One of those producer people I can just ask stuff to, like Levon does. But But we got Philly Boy over here. Philly says, those are my players. Probably have 80% of their autos. Dude, we might have to take a tour of Philly Boy's house if he wants. It doesn't.
Yeah.
He might not.
He's up in Minnesota though.
He's over there in Minnesota. Represent. I didn't know that he had like I mean, I never.
He's a huge Packer fan, but he's in Minnesota. He loves Aaron Jones.
Big shout out to Phil. Without Phil,
Phil's a good guy.
He makes my game streams. He makes all my streams way more fun. He's always tapping in. He's one of my favorite people on this.
It seems like he's always picking on me on those game streams. I'm not sure, but I think he's having fun with me.
He had you confused a few times.
Oh my God, yeah.
But
at that point, I'm on my 14th beer. Like, what's happening? I don't know what's happening.
If he's joking or if he's being mean.
Yeah. Then my wife is like, "Can you turn down your phone?" I'm like, "No, I'm live with Matt right now. I gotta see what's going on." So then I'm always ahead of it too. I always love that because I watch it coming in. So those streams are the best.
Is that where you watch the games, or are you in your garage, or are you watching your living room with your?
I watch them in the garage, and or my family room, depending how cold it is, and I fire up the fireplace. Yeah, and get
the
going.
Whole family out there watching.
We're everywhere. Yeah, they're out there. Me grilling, and it doesn't matter what time of year it is. I'm out there cooking.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you have that nice backyard over there.
Yeah, some brats.
Get to another one over here from Karen. Answer only if you have time. I don't know if this has been asked, but what are your thoughts on the season tickets being given to people who aren't selling their tickets? That's a great question, Karen. I appreciate this one. But yeah, the Packers came out and said for the season ticket holders who sell 100% of their games for multiple years, they're not going to renew their season tickets. If that's correct. I think that's correct. How it is. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not sure how to feel about this yet, depending on what it is or what the circumstances are or whatever it is. Because sometimes you have like an aging grandfather who doesn't go to the games anymore. And I don't think they need to sell him, but what if they're transferring him to somebody else without a price? Is that can be considered sold? Right? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, they're being used in the family, but it's coming from Grandpa. Grandpa John is letting everybody use the tickets, right? But he's transferring because now you can see transfers through the app, right? Because everything is digital. And if that's the way it's going to be counted versus being actually sold and being sold for money. So I'm hoping that if it's just being sold for money and they're not going to the games and they're just selling them, I think that's a good argument not to renew. But if they're being used and being transferred without a sale price, and I guess that's not been really clarified yet if that's the case,
I think
that's where I
that
think the argument would kick in and saying, hey, my family's using it because I'm too old or I'm not going to games anymore and I'm not using them, right? Then I want to understand what that looks like a little bit more. So pretty interested in how that comes out.
Yeah, I was reading people on Twitter talking about it. It sounded to me like they were saying there will be exceptions. Like people can say, hey, this is what's happening. Because that does happen a lot. Like the grandma and grandpa has the tickets. They kind of give them to the kids. Or the kids might even, pay for the face value for them. But yeah, I think more of it is about like people who, like their grandpa passes and he has season tickets. They're not Packer fans. And now they're using it like their Ticketmaster. And they're just selling them to anyone that'll pay top dollar. I kind of get that part of it. But definitely if the people who they're keeping it in the family, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I know, but if they're profiting, if people are profiting, right, and that's their sole purpose, I'm good with them taking them away. Not like I'm against capitalism, but if you're not using the tickets for what they're intended to be used for, then you don't need to have them.
In these stadiums, like, the Lions fans, all that stuff that they came over, invaded Lambeau, that's not good. It's not good for the team. So if someone they're using the tickets like a side hustle, which I get, everyone has make some money, but the Packers got to look out for the Packers, and they need to get back to having that roaring stadium.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if half of that is Milwaukee, if 3/4 of it is Milwaukee fans.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I don't mean to pick on Milwaukee because
I said that before. I talked about it, and people from Milwaukee got mad at me, so I was thinking.
Well, I said it, so they can get mad at me.
You go to Lars on Instagram.
Yeah, I just, you know what? It's not that I hate on Milwaukee, but you're right. Yeah, whenever they take over, it's like even the Bear game, right? It was the Milwaukee crowd. I'm like, wow, it's kind of loud for the Bears. I don't know what's happening here, right?
And one thing I'll say about the Milwaukee people, I get it because like if it's a night game and they have to drive back to Milwaukee, but like I have the same thing. Like I'd like to go to more Bucks games, but some of them are later in Brewers games. But I don't want to drive back, so I just don't go, and I don't have season tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's Milwaukee Bucks people there, right? It's not like
that's what I'm saying. It's like you have a choice to have them. If you can't go, then, or at least if you can't go and like you have tickets, sell them to a Packer fan.
Yep. Yeah. Sell them to a Packer fan.
I believe the Packers should have like their own Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
And say season ticket holders, when you sell your tickets, sell them here. We're gonna get them to Packer fans, and
sell them at 125% or whatever, depending on the game, right? Or if it's a cold winter game, it's going to go at face value, buy them back at face value, but then turn them around and open it up for the city of Green Bay Packer fans to come to a game.
Yeah, figure out whatever they got to do to make sure. But anyways, let's get to some more comments. We got a lot of people talking over here. This is a good one right here. If I'm trading for anyone, it's Max Crosby. I don't know the Max Crosby situation, but I think he would be an absolute animal on the Packers defense. I'm not sure it's possible.
I think he would, but I think he's not moving. I think he's locked down as a Raider. I think he's bought into the future. I know he's got a good relationship with Josh Jacobs, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one, nor would I hold my breath on Myles Garrett as well. But Max Crosby is an animal. And we do need an edge rusher. But if I'm really thinking about an edge rusher, I'm kind of high on Trey Hendrickson from Cincinnati. That guy had the most sacks in the NFL last year, and nobody even talks about this guy.
Yeah.
So he's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. We got some more comments rolling in, so we're gonna keep moving. This is a good one. You are married, obviously. I know that she doesn't. Does your wife go to the games with you? Obviously, you don't go to the games as much anymore.
No,
but when you were doing that, was your wife a big?
My wife wasn't big to go to the games. And it's kind of interesting because it's progressed over time. My wife is an insane fan now. She absolutely loves Jordan Love, and nobody can trash talk him over the years. But when we first started dating, she wasn't that big of a Packer fan. She watched it, right, and got into it. And as time progressed, she became more and more intense. And now it's to the point where she's screaming, and I'm like, settle down. We'll be all right here. We're going to figure this out. But she's a big fan. She's my best friend. I absolutely love being with my wife and watching the games or whatever I am because there's nothing more fun than watching a game with my wife. So she's great. Because what's awesome. Really fun is like 1 second into the game and there's a mistake. Oh, it's over. Game's over. We're going to lose. And she's all mad. I'm like, geez, woman, settle down. It'll be all right. Now go get me a beer. So, yeah. That's how it
That's
works.
funny that everyone knows someone, that first,
Yeah,
3-0, it's done. It's a
it's
wrap.
over. Yeah,
No,
it's a
but I
wrap.
obviously met your wife. Your wife is awesome. Big shout out to her.
Yeah, yep.
And
Nicole's awesome.
yeah, let me crash your garage every now and again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come crash.
Here we go. Packers has a fault in it always. They seem to now put division games as Milwaukee Pack. Yeah, this year especially, a lot of people were this last season. People were talking about that. It was like all division games for the Milwaukee package.
Yeah,
And
yeah. They gotta get better with that. Absolutely. So, but yeah, we're gonna see what happens. But I won't be surprised if I think this is picking away at the Milwaukee ticket season holders, the Milwaukee season ticket holders.
yeah, it could be
Um,
targeted at them.
Yeah, it could be because, let's just say it. We gave them the deal to move out of Milwaukee, right? That they got the tickets and whether they want to drive or not. But at the same point, if you're selling your tickets and not going to the game and not using them and you're only selling them for profit, I get it. Even if you don't want to go to the games, then why have them, right? Because you shouldn't be profiting on behalf of the Packers. Um, we should be, if anybody, because we live here and we pay taxes and we're shareholders. If anybody's going to profit, look out for me, right? So somebody throw me a couple dimes from Lambeau Field, I'll take them. But it's I agree with the Packers if that's the purpose, right? If they're just benefiting
Yeah, and
financially.
I think that's the thing too. It's like not just that they're benefiting, and it's hurting the Packers. Like
Yep.
if you never go to any of the games and you're just selling them to Viking fans or whoever fans, not caring who it is, then they have to shut that down. You can't make money if it's going to hurt the team.
That's the worst to sell tickets to Viking fans.
Well, I
That's
think a
like
lot
me
of people
cheating
don't
on
know.
my
Like,
wife with a homeless woman. I don't know what I'm doing, right? Come on.
you know what I mean? That like this is a good comment. Like Ticketmaster pays NFL big bucks to be NFL ticket company. Yeah, and that's the thing is when you sell to them, you don't. It's not like they're selling to Viking fans. They're selling to anyone who will buy them.
Yep.
So I feel like I don't know why all teams they can't do that. Like have a Ticketmaster. They
Yep.
could even have it. I mean, I shouldn't say like locally because there's Packer fans all over the world. You don't know.
Mhm.
It's a hard thing to do. I get they're trying to do it. It's a fine line they're going on because you don't want to take tickets away from people who, like you say, they're giving them to their grandkids or their kids are going, but it's in their name. But I don't think that counts. I don't think that they're looking at that.
Oh,
I
no.
think it's if you're selling them on one of these second whatever apps like Ticketmaster or
Yeah.
whatever.
And I think it's really clear, and hopefully Mark Murphy or Ed Policy is watching. I think Matt and I should have a job in your front office. We can handle these problems. Look at my Homer sweatshirt. I have my Homer
Yeah,
on.
look, represent.
Yeah, but yeah, I
That
mean, let Ed Policy know we can come there and hey, all we're asking for is access to a private box that we have, and then beer, and we'll make all the decisions. There's no cost to pay us to handle these problems. We can figure them out after that. You
I'm
down
not
with
sure
that,
they
Matt?
want me. I'm not sure they want me making the decisions, but I'm down with it.
Yeah, well, we'll just be consultants.
Yeah,
Consultants from Skybox number 42.
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I actually want to try to get Mark Murphy. I want to try to get him on a pod before he goes off in the
Yeah.
sunset. Actually, I think he's gonna be around. Let me answer that. With Ed Policy stepping in, I don't know when this transition happens. I know it's after the draft. I think that's the last thing Mark Murphy's gonna be doing is after the draft.
Yeah.
And then, what are your thoughts, Ed Policy, and like that exchange? You think anything changes?
No, I don't think so because I mean Ed Policy has been part of this for how long now? I think 7 years,
Yeah.
8 years he's been here. I don't think there's going to be a big change. I do think, depending on what happens this season, I think there could be somewhat of a shakeup. I don't think this year. I know I heard Bill Michaels talk about this. I think this year everything is fine, but I think the patience is wearing thin for a Super Bowl at this point. So I really think it's going to be kind of a big season for us this year. I mean, and if we get to the championship game, great. If we get to the Super Bowl, even better. But I think there's going to be pressure for us to show up and be a little bit more of a dominant team than we were last year. I'm predicting 14-3 already, and I don't even know the whole schedule yet. But we're gonna. I'm not a homer. I'm just. I just know I'm right, and we're not going to lose any games when I predict anyway. So we'll figure that out later.
My record is pretty spot on.
Yep.
No, but yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of the same because I think that's why he got the job. there's a Packer way, and they're going to hire people,
Yeah.
bring people in that are with that. But yeah, you mentioned the pressure this season, coming into the season. I think the pressure is on. It's you know, Jordan Love was hurt this year. The passing
Yeah.
game wasn't what they wanted. Josh Jacobs, you know, he was a beast this year. I expect Jordan Love to play well next year. Hopefully, he has another target. Christian
Mhm.
Watson's going to be out most of the year. But I think the expectation is that this team is a run deep in the playoffs. And, like, I'm not saying they have to win a Super Bowl, which I think I want them to a lot. But I
Oh, yeah.
think that they can't lose the first playoff game. They have to be a dominant team. They have to be they should be one of the better teams in the
Yeah.
league.
And I think it's going to happen. I think Jordan Love will be MVP. I think Lucas Van Ness is going to have his breakout year this year. I think we need another dominant pass rusher, and that's no knock on Rashawn Gary, but it won't hurt, right, to have another gun up there. Yeah, and with we're going to draft a cornerback, we're going to draft a safety. I don't think we're as light there as we'd like to think. I just think we had a lot of injuries, and it showed up that we didn't have the depth we needed. So shoring up the depth would be more important than finding that true corner that's going to get us over the top. Now, if we pick somebody up via trade or via, I think Jair is gone. I mean, that's pretty clearly evident. Or it's on there, and it's a shame because that guy was great when he wasn't. And again, you got to say it when he wasn't hurt. The guy played his ass butt off. Excuse me. Sorry about my.
Oh my god!
You got to use a beeper or something. But he played really well, and it's a shame. But my wife loves him too. They're not going to. They're really not going to trade him, are they? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I think I love Jair. I love his whole attitude. I love everything. But yeah, if you're not in the field,
yep.
got that big payday. They just can't.
Nope.
I mean, they just did that with Dave Bakhtiari, but in that situation, it was a little bit different because he had just signed that contract, and like people don't realize that. Something like, oh, they need to get rid of him, cut him, but there's a huge cap hits.
And here's
I'm not a cap guru at all, but there's big hits, and they're better off just sticking with them.
And here's the thing about Bakhtiari. I'm not knocking him or anything else. Who signed him? Oh, that's right, nobody. So my question is, right, was it the right move to get rid of him? That's not a knock on him. Nobody signed him.
Oh, yeah, because that's the thing, people, about the injury. Like, that was his career-ending injury.
Yep.
He couldn't get back on the field. Like, that's not a knock him at all. I think I love David Bakhtiari.
Yeah, he was great in the way he slammed
it was
beer.
A horrible, yeah. And it was just a horrible injury. They had to go back in, clean it up like 6 times or whatever it was. That was a catastrophic injury. I don't think Jair, because people were comparing Jair to him. I think Jair is going to play again. Not for Green Bay, but he's going to play. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I don't think that knee injury is as bad as definitely not as David Bakhtiari. But
God forbid he doesn't show up in Minnesota or Chicago. I swear.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he would admit it. So I'm not sure they like him or he likes them.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Him and what's his name? The gritty guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Jefferson. They don't like each other. We get to a few more of these comments when we end this thing. What's up, Jesse? The schedule next year looks much harder, but when the playoffs start, there's no more youngest team talk. Need that jump to happen. Yeah, even if they are the youngest team, like that is done. Like even like LaFleur said it like at the end of the year. No more youngest team talk. The expectations are to win. The schedule is going to be a little bit tougher, but I think like every year when people talk about the strength of schedule, sometimes it looks hard, ends up not being quite as bad because people, teams aren't as good as they were the year before, and some teams are better. So, but it gives you a good guide of like what the schedule is going to be like. But I
remember
the expectations are definitely high.
Yeah, Houston was supposed to kill us. Remember that? And then we beat them. So.
Yeah, Brandon McManus, need to bring him back.
Yeah, I believe they do need to bring him back. This kicker thing, and it's kind of crazy if you really think about it. We went through the same thing. Chris Jackie left, and we went through about 6 kickers until we got to Mason Crosby. Well, Ryan Longwell was there for a short stint, but then we went to Mason Crosby.
He was there for a decent amount, wasn't he?
Yeah, Ryan Longwell was, 6 or 7 years. But we went through all the kickers between Chris Jackie and that piece, right? Yeah. And I think any team goes through that. But the problem we have sometimes is impatience. And I get it, right? When we're at where we're at. But yeah, Brandon McManus is a good pickup and he's a good find, and I'm glad we got him because he got us 3 games last year, right? And if we wouldn't have had that kicking, yeah, we would have been in tough trouble. So
Yeah, for sure. And this could comment. Packers seem to get rid of older players a year or so before they decline, and that's kind of what their philosophy is. I mean, obviously with the Bakhtiari thing, that's totally different. I know you didn't mention that, but that's what I see a lot of people talk to me about is the Bakhtiari thing. But that was an injury thing, and but yeah, like Jordy, like all the Devontae, they didn't really they traded him, but that was part of his idea. But they, yeah, they definitely
Corey
try not to hang
Lindsley
on to
back
people.
in the day, right? Corey Lindsley left, and offensive linemen too. We seem to move them, right? Josh Sitton moved, and it was 1 year he was with the Bears, and then he was done, right? So everybody kind of has this last year in them, but we don't, from a financial standpoint, right? We don't want to pick up the rest of that. We want to invest it into somebody younger that we're going to develop along for the next 4 or 5 years. So that stuff makes good business sense. I always say Ron Wolf was the greatest thing ever. I remember how much I loved Keith McKenzie, and I was so angry when they cut him and he went to Cleveland, and I never heard of him again. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. He was a great guy, but yeah, now he's done, right? It's over. So it's kind of when you take the dog out to the pasture, right? Here it goes. Yeah, it's time over. So
that's what it is. We'll get to one more. We talked about this already, but we'll talk about it again. What's up, Lorraine? What's Ivan thoughts on the draft? Like the good, bad, and the ugly. I think that's I think the good for me gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah.
I'm not. I don't know if there's gonna be a bad, but I'll let you take this one.
So the beer will flow like nobody's business. The good is obviously the influx of money into the city of Green Bay. The neat thing too is everybody gets to see Lambeau Field. By the way, Lambeau Field is the greatest sports venue in the entire world. I don't care what anybody else tells me. I get to drive by it like all the time, and I'm still in awe of it every time I drive by it. Like there it is, and it's a great place. It's a historic place. It's the 13-time world champions. It's Green Bay Packers. It's the NFL lore. It's the NFL history, and they're coming here, and we're going to show up too. That's the other thing. Like fans, we won't have big riots and greasing down poles like you do in Philadelphia and all this other jazz, right? We're going to show up like true great fans. We're going to be welcoming of everybody. Even Viking fan will welcome. But the thing is, it's a great place to be. The good will be that. The bad will be living here is going to be insanity and trying to figure out and navigate your way around. Like I told my wife, we got to get all the grocery shop and everything done before that Wednesday, before the Thursday kickoff. But that Wednesday, everything's got to be done. So we don't have to go anywhere. I'm going to need at least a couple of cases of beer to get me to Sunday. So I can't be going out to the Quick Trip or anything. And then the ugly, it's just going to be the space thing. And it'll be interesting to see how we handle all these people coming to town and everybody's B&B. By the way, I'm not going to be a B&B. I'm not doing it. Everybody's like, why don't you put your house up on? Oh, yeah, I'm not, Then you got to do this and report it to the city, and then you got all these taxes, and suddenly you're a business. And then people are going to be in my garage, right, taking my Coors Light, my hams. I don't know about that. But I think the ugly is just going to be, we're cramping a lot of people. We're 107,395. That's the city's size, right? Yes, we have Ashwaubenon and Alloway, Howard, all these other small communities around us. But we're going to pack in 750,000 people in 4 days. And that's going to be something because we're taking in not even close to what we are, and we're going to push it through. So I think it's going to be a tremendous time. I think it's going to be a historic time. I think it's going to be a blast. I think there's going to be no drama, and I think it's going to be wonderful. And Matt, we got to have a beer Thursday night somewhere at that first night, and get after it. So, it's going to be crazy with Oneida Street's closing. The only thing, the ugly, I get it too, and I'm not sure who that is. The Badger Trio. Yeah. I live right on the other side of the highway of 41. And it's going to be crazy over there too.
Your address out there.
Oh yeah, I want to put that and my social security number. Let me get that out there too.
You try to steal my identity, you'll mess around and get a bill.
Yeah, it's like when the flu bug jumps into my body and goes, "Oh crap, what did I just do? I better get out of here." I'm like, "Yeah."
Where am I?
I never get
Yeah.
sick because I'm already sick, so it doesn't
You know
happen.
what I mean? Just dunking on that whiskey and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
my
I think
Bloody
that
Mary.
I think the draft is going to be good. It's going to be
Yeah.
fun. I do think it's they know what they're doing, but there's a lot to go into it. Like you said, all the people coming
Yep.
to Green Bay. It should be interesting. I'll be down there. I
Yep.
think on that Wednesday before, might be doing a thing at the mall with She Said TV.
Oh,
I'm not sure we're talking about that yet, but might be
oh,
something going on that
yeah.
week that I might tag along with.
Oh, well.
So
You guys have fun with them.
that week is going to be busy. It's going to be a
Yeah.
fun week. But yeah, we'll definitely have to link up. And I do want to, like I say, I want to do some videos of you. One thing I want to do is walk around the neighborhood when it gets a little bit warmer.
Yep.
And then you talk about, show like what the neighborhood used to look like.
Sure.
And where the practice field, like we used to jump the fence,
Yeah.
and, like go to these different spots and like give you like your point of view of
Yep.
growing up in that neighborhood. I think that'd be awesome to.
Yeah, absolutely. As teenagers, we drank
to
Blatt's
show.
beer. Yeah, Blatt's beer.
And
Holy
then maybe
bucket.
find some old pictures, even if
Yep.
you don't have them like on the internet, and like show
Yep.
like what it used to be. Kind of put it on a screen. I think we can make some good video because
Yeah, we will.
Um,
And hopefully all the people watching tonight will tune in.
yeah,
It'll
you
be a
know what I
great
mean?
time. I'm
Yeah.
I love working with Matt. We've done some fun stuff. I still like our chicken video when you did the Joker down the steps. That was the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah,
I still laugh at that. And then our cookout video. So
yeah. You're the man. You're always fun to have on. I appreciate the Badger Trio and everyone else. Jesse, Lorraine, obviously Philly Boy up there, Jason. Appreciate y'all chiming in the comment section. We're gonna wrap this thing up, but thanks for showing us around.
yeah,
You know what I
thanks
mean?
for having me.
You got a nice little collection over there.
Yeah, I
wouldn't say
do.
little,
And
you have a nice.
and here's I'm gonna end it with this. This is my
Yeah.
biggest best collection right down
What do you
here.
got?
Oh, look at all the beer.
You got all the beer.
I got all the beer, fella.
He got
So-
all the beer.
And I got to
we
get
gotta-
busy with that. You know, I got my beer
Yeah.
guys 911 _
Yeah.
Wisconsin. You check
Yeah, be
out some
sure to
beer
check-
drinking.
Yeah, check out Instagram, Ivan, Lars, and Beer Guy Wisconsin. Is that right?
Yeah, beer guys 911 _ WI Wisconsin. I'm the
There you
charter
go.
captain, and I can out drink any other beer guy.
Yeah, I drink a lot, but I'm kind of I'm kind of weak, dude. I've been told.
No, you drink okay. You're a good
It's
drinker.
just, I'm a cheap drunk. You know what I mean? Anyways,
Well, that's all
have a
right.
good time.
I'll get you
All
some
right, we're
Coors
outta-
Banquet.
You know what I mean?
Thank you,
Like the song,
fella. Salute.
Go Pack, go people! Thanks for watching.